Have you ever noticed that the more you think, the more tangled everything becomes? It's not because you lack skill or talent, but because overthinking ties your mind in knots. When your thoughts spiral into worry and overanalysis, you lose your natural instincts and inner confidence. That's a truth many people learn the hard way, like the character in this story. He was a brilliant locksmith, renowned for being able to open any lock, no matter how old, rusty, or complicated. No door could resist him. With his skilled hands and unwavering confidence, he left everyone in awe. But his talent was tested in a completely unexpected way when his own mind became the obstacle. Sometimes, we're not defeated by the world around us, but by our own doubts, fears, and relentless thoughts. One day, a wealthy businessman approached the famed locksmith with an intriguing offer. "There's a special competition happening in the city," he said. "If you join and win, the prize is 10 lakh rupees." The locksmith didn't hesitate. This was a great chance to boost his reputation even more. On the day of the competition, the atmosphere was electric. A sealed metal box was placed in the center of a large pool, surrounded by hundreds of spectators. The challenge was simple. The locksmith would be locked inside, the box submerged underwater, and he had to unlock it and escape before running out of air. If in danger, he could press an emergency button to be rescued. Confident as ever, he stepped into the box, smiling at the crowd. But once the box hit the bottom of the pool, everything changed. In the cold, dark space, he got to work, but the lock wouldn't budge. He tried every technique he knew, every trick in the book, but nothing worked. Confusion turned to panic. His hands trembled and his mind filled with chaos. What if I fail? What will people think of me? The flood of thoughts overwhelmed him. In that breathless moment, he had no choice but to hit the emergency button. When the box was pulled up and opened, he sat up, only to see the door swing open effortlessly. The lock had never been locked. He hadn't failed because of his skills, but because his mind had become overloaded. As the door opened, the locksmith was stunned. The lock, the very thing he poured all his skills and energy into, hadn't even been locked. It was all a psychological trap. The organizer stepped forward, placed a calm hand on his shoulder and said, "The problem wasn't the lock, it was in your mind. Overthinking was the real barrier." The locksmith said nothing. The murmurs from the crowd didn't matter anymore. In that moment, he didn't feel ashamed. He felt grateful. He had just learned a profound lesson. Not about skill, but about the human mind. "Sometimes," he told the crowd, his voice trembling, "the thing stopping us isn't the external obstacle, but the fear and chaotic thoughts inside. Overthinking can make the simplest things feel impossible." That message hit hard. The most important battle we face isn't with the outside world, it's with the doubt, worry, and imagined fears in our minds. The problems we think are huge might be unlocked locks, but we're defeated by our own thoughts. When we believe in ourselves, act with clarity and simplicity, and don't let fear control us, we can overcome even what seems impossible. Remember, the lock you're struggling to open may never have been locked. It's your mind that needs freeing first. In life, we often don't fail due to a lack of ability, but because of the endless stream of thoughts that bring us down. The locksmith's story is proof. He wasn't beaten by a lock, but by a mind filled with confusion, doubt, and fear. Overthinking is a silent enemy. It doesn't strike all at once, but slowly erodes your confidence, disrupts your calm, and turns simple things into tangled messes. A small issue, filtered through worry, imagination, and fear of failure, can become a mountain you can't climb. Whether it's a relationship, a dream, or an important decision, if you keep overanalyzing, hesitating, and fearing mistakes, you'll never move forward. Action has the power to set you free, while overthinking traps you in an invisible cage of your own making. The locksmith story isn't just about a temporary failure. It's a wake-up call. Sometimes, to overcome a challenge, all you need to do is stop overthinking and trust yourself. Simple thinking leads to clear action. In the end, always remember, the lock you're trying to open in life may not actually be locked. The greatest limits don't come from the outside, but from the fear and thoughts inside your head. Take a deep breath, calm your mind, and move forward. You're stronger than you think. And sometimes the key to overcoming everything is simply calmness and trust. Life is often not as difficult as we imagine. It's our minds that complicate it. When we overthink, we begin to imagine all sorts of negative scenarios. What if I fail? What will people think? What's the worst that could happen? These questions don't help us prepare. They only tie us down with fear and doubt. Thinking is necessary, but overthinking is a burden. It makes us hesitate, lose direction, and miss the chance to act at the right time. We don't realize that many locks in life, whether in work, love, or opportunity, were never locked. Our minds imagined the lock, then disappointed ourselves. If you're hesitating over a decision or afraid of a challenge, remember, sometimes the only way to know is to step forward. Don't imprison yourself with fears that haven't happened. Trust in your abilities, act with a calm heart and clear mind. Success doesn't always come from thinking things through thoroughly, but often from the courage to act even when uncertain. Live fully, not in fear. The lock isn't locked, it's your mind holding it shut. The key to overcoming many of life's challenges doesn't lie in excessive skill or preparation. It lies in mental clarity. When we stop overthinking and begin acting with trust, everything becomes much simpler. Simple thoughts lead to clear actions. In the locksmith story, he didn't fail due to a lack of skill, but because he was overwhelmed by negative thoughts. This doesn't just happen to him, it happens to all of us. Whether it's in work, study, love, or dreams, the biggest obstacle often isn't the situation, it's our anxious minds. Life doesn't demand perfection from us. It asks for courage to move forward, even in uncertainty. Even small actions, when taken with trust, can bring results. Hesitation and doubt, on the other hand, keep us stuck in front of life's open doors. Remember, the lock you're trying to open might never have been locked. Don't let your mind complicate things. Trust yourself. Keep your thinking simple and take the next step. Sometimes all it takes is one small action, and everything changes.